morning, good afternoon. We're going to be talking about qualitative graphs. I can describe data shown in qualitative graphs, and I can graph qualitative graphs, or data, sorry. So the first thing we have to do is define it. Defining it is graph used to represent situations that may not have numerical values, or graphs in which numerical values are not included. So something like this, where you're going to label your x and your y axis, but not include any numerical data. It's not going to have like 1, 2, 3, 4, or yeah. But you can see the relationship between time and percent of the photos downloaded. So this relationship right here, this is the relationship, meaning when there's 0 seconds, the percent downloaded would be 0. All right. So just to start, reading a qualitative graph. So every time it changes, it's going to have a new different type. So you're going to first cut it into sections. So like, let's see if I can do this here. Reading qualitative graphs. Okay, so lines going up, it's going to be data that's increasing. Steeper the line, the faster the increase. So a line going down would be the opposite. It would be data decreasing. The steeper the descent, the faster the decrease. So the faster it's decreasing. All right, a horizontal line is going to be, remember like a horizon. It's going to be a horizontal line. It's going to be, it means the data remains the same. And any straight line, that means it's a constant rate of change. So like this is a straight line, but it's increasing, right? So it's increasing, there's no change here, and then it's decreasing. So you want to separate the graph into sections, and you want to label and or describe each section. Okay, so my purple, that's one section. The yellow is another section, and then the pink is the last section. All right, so first, the graph at the right displays the temperature throughout the day. Describe the change in the temperature over time. So if you notice, it's going up, it's climbing up. So that means you're over time, the temperature is rising. Okay, so I have these two circles here. This is the first part. So I can split this graph into two different parts. The first part is the rising, and then the second part, where's my, it's the temperature would be decreasing or going down. So I'm gonna explain my two different parts of my graph. So I should use the same color, huh? So the first, number one part of my graph, the temperature gradually increases until it reaches the high for the day. So this part right here, that's the high for the day. And then it slowly, the temperature gradually declines for the rest of the day. So if my line were to look something like this, would that be a little more quicker?
What?
Or the decrease? It's almost like the temperature just quickly decreases, right? Yes, exactly. This would be like a North Dakota one, right? Where one day it's 20 degrees, the next is negative 50 or 50. Okay, it's yeah, it's not gradual, right? Okay, so here we have gradual. So we want to use words that describe it. So gradual increase, a gradual decrease. The next one is one that has a little more, but it's just going up. So every time you change, you're going to create a new section. Okay, so here's my first section, and I'm going to actually try and erase this. Okay, so here's my graph. It's sales over time. And whenever I'm talking about, like, I'm going to say this one, so sales, and I always say over time.
What is stock graph?
Huh? A stock graph, yeah. All right, so I'm going to look at my graph, and when I start to change, I'm going to end that first section. So I'm going to clump my line into different sections. So this first section is going to be right here until it changes and it starts to go down. Okay, so this would be this right here, and maybe I'll do it this way. I'm going to start highlighting instead, so it's a little. Okay, so I have this section here until I'm going a different direction, so I'm going to pick a different color. Okay, I go down this way. Well, now I'm going a different direction, so I'm going to pick another color. I'm going up to here. So do you see how it kind of plateaus or flattens out? Or okay, so that's going to be a different section right here. And then my last section is it's going rising again. So now I'm going to describe what's happening there. So the first one, the store has a lot of sales creating revenue. So sales over time, words like revenue. Okay, that's just meaning, they're making a lot of money. Store has a lot of sales, so they're making money, creating revenue. Okay, and I'm going to go back to here. Then I want to go and describe number 2. Number 2, my sales are decreasing. They're declining just a little bit. Not necessarily back to zero, right? There is some sale though, right? There's some. So a customer returns something causing a decline in revenue. You could say that you wouldn't exactly have to use these exact words, but it's good to kind of explain what would be happening in that graph. Okay, then here, 3, what's happening? The revenue gradually increases through sales. This means because they're selling stuff, their revenue is increasing. It's not sharp increase, right? It's gradually going up, right? If it was like this, if it was more of almost just a vertical line, that would be quick, right? A quick increase. And then here, this point right here, there is a short period of time, because do you see how short? It's not a very long line, right? So there's a short period of time without any sales because it's a horizontal line. There's no change in the sales. And then it's going, the last one, the revenue gradually increases through sales for the rest of the day. Okay? Okay, you can fill this out in your notes from the video, but we're not going to talk about it. We're going to go quickly on to the next one. And the next one is actually writing and creating that graph. So it says the tennis ball is dropped on the floor. On each successive bounce, it rebounds to a height less than its previous bounced height until it comes to rest on the floor. Sketch a qualitative graph to represent the situation. So first you have to look. Well, I have distance from the floor and then time. So first it's going to start in your hand. So is it going to start at 0? No. And the only numbers really that we know for sure on this graph is right here. It's going to be 0, 0 always. So here, it's going to start in your hand. It bounces. So over time, so maybe this is a second. I don't know. There's not any labels. But a second. And then it's going to come up, and it's not going to reach the height as it first was, right? It's going to, on each successive bounce, it rebounds to a height less than its previous bounce. So this one is less than this one, and this one is less than this one, and so on and so forth. See that? Yeah. Okay, same with here. A car is traveling at a constant rate of speed. So it's going to be a straight, constant speed, sorry. It's going to be a straight line. The car slows down suddenly to come to a rest at a stoplight. So constant speed, and then it's gradually stops. Speed, time elapsed. Here we actually have to label both graphs and then actually draw the graphs. This is your assignment, page 351 through 7 odd, 11 through 16.